Hey everyone, this is Ben from T3 bringing you another match from the Game Empire SoCal Regional that happened on May 27th.
21st, right?
21st. With me commentating, I have Timmy Wong.
Hey everyone.
And on the left here we have Alan playing NEH, and on the right we have Steven playing Leela.
Yes. I think this is pretty early on in the tournament. Neither of these players have taken a loss yet. And this was a pretty strange top 8. Well, maybe not so strange, but it was really dominated by Nearth Hub on the Corp side and Wizard on the Runner side. And Steven was, I believe, the sole criminal player in the top 8.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no one else. I think everyone else, as you said, was Anarch.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe 0 Shapers.
I don't think there's any Shapers in this tournament. Or not in the top 8. In the top 8, we'll say. No Shapers. Yeah, and the lone criminal champion. This is awesome.
The game is about to be afoot, and get to watch an exciting NBN on criminal game.
And immediately, NEH doing its NEH thing, drawing some cards, installing a bunch of stuff, getting their card draw going on.
Yep, this is probably what you want against Leela. Ice for both centrals is pretty important, just in case Leela gets a lucky steal and just snowballs that to crush you.
Yeah, and that bank job is something I've seen come back quite a bit recently.
Really nice against all these asset decks that have been dominating the meta.
And this is after the IG craze, or in the middle of the IG craze, I think. So definitely the bank jobs and the security testings and all of those fun remote hate cards are really good meta calls.
Okay. Yeah, so Steven plays the bank job, runs the bank job, and Alan mistakenly reveals the Sensi Actors Union to him. So Steven now knows that that's the Sensi Actors Union. That
it has to get trashed.
I would think that he has to go trash it right now before it fires. He should still have 2 clicks left to do so. Okay, he runs it again and trashes it. Good. Good work, Steven. Can't let that card live.
No, it's so devastating.
And his first click was draw, I think.
And so easy to trash. I love that FFG's really getting the costs right on cards recently. I mean, like Sensi 0 for 2 is pretty much, you can't have it cost more to trash. You know, I don't know. I've been impressed with the especially compared to the early days of Netrunner. But the NEH here getting some more money, hedge funding up, drawing some cards, getting their options back in line. And Steven here just trying to get his board state built up a little bit. The money helped. I'm sure we'll see him run that remote again. I mean, there's no reason for Leela not to try and keep on top of the remote game in this matchup.
Well, he could assume that it's something that he just doesn't want to bother with right now. Maybe he can't afford to trash a Sansan. But the Sansan would be pretty risky to let the Corp have when NEH is on 10 credits. So it's tricky. But Steven does opt to
get his economy set up a little bit.
Just sit back for a bit, thinking that that's not something he needs to worry about right now. Maybe it's like a pad campaign that he can trash later or something like that. Because he showed a willingness to run remotes before, there's this kind of like remote mind game that happens where the Corp probably wouldn't dare to just put an agenda down so soon.
And just scoring out the breaking news here, not even trying to sneak it out. That might be a 24/7 signal. I mean, usually you want that style of deck is going to try and get that as quickly as possible.
It's a pretty heavy signal for 24/7. Yeah, a normal fast advance deck doesn't want to score breaking news so early, and with like so little pressure, with Leela even bouncing the HQ ice, you probably wouldn't make that score unless you really wanted that 1-pointer in your score area. So yeah, Alan is probably playing a Butcher Shop deck with 24/7, and if he scores another agenda, then Leela is at risk of dying at pretty much any moment.
Well, Steven was able to get the punish off, bouncing the HQ ice, getting the siphon, hurting NBN's economy a little bit, forcing them to slow down. You know, gear check them a little bit. The 1 point isn't critical yet, as long as Steven keeps cards in his hand at least.
But knowing that MBN is probably playing a lot of meat damage, he really has to drop those tags, which slows him down.
This is true, but this isn't a tag me deck anyway, so clearing those tags seems to be part of this deck's plan. Part of it anyway, and that's going to slow NBN down even further.
Employee strike, turning off that free draw.
So.
Alan's going like, no draw. Yeah. You don't know how much you rely on your ID until you lose it.
Mm-hmm. And I do think I see a Scorched Earth in Alan's hand already. So getting those pieces, we know it's a kill. I'm sure Steven's kind of assumed that with the breaking news score so early, but...
I seem to remember a lot of Butcher Shop at the top tables in this tournament, so Steven's probably well prepared for it at this point. Still, it remains to be seen whether he can do anything about it. Like, he's maintaining credit advantage this game, which is really nice. But he still has to worry about 24/7 news cycle.
And this could be it. Or, I mean, like, it's so few credits to actually pull off. If Alan has the cards here, this could, unless Steven gets Plascrete or some type of protection, this could be the last turn he gets.
No, Alan still needs to score one more Jenna to forfeit.
Oh,
24/7.
Right. That's a crucial part of that card.
Yes, quite important. Makes it somewhat more fair.
Yeah.
Marginally so.
It just doesn't give tags, two free tags to play the card for free? Really?
I mean,
that's what it does.
It does, once he scores like in 15 minutes.
Details.
Yeah. It's tough. So Leela really needs to apply some pressure quickly here. I guess he's digging for his Plascrete, which is reasonable. Gets a Desperado, which is nice. But he kind of needs to be running centrals really aggressively to try to like deny this one-pointer. Because if Alan gets a one-pointer and his kill combo, then that will be game unless Leela finds Plascrete first. So assuming that Leela's only playing like one Plascrete, it might be a better play to run more aggressively instead of power drawing for it.
Yeah, I was actually curious. What do you think is over the ices over the remote, or excuse me, over HQ and R&D? Because Steven really seems to be respecting those ice, but NBN isn't exactly known for that. So it seems like, especially now with Desperado, I mean, Steven could start applying a little bit of pressure here and lean into NEH. And I think the worst that Steven has to fear is like maybe a tag, which as long as he's not running last click, isn't really a big deal.
Yeah, there's nothing too bad for him here. Now that he has the Desperado, I would definitely start face checking this ice.
And the Fairy, I mean, he's safe for at least anything major.
Definitely. The ice you want to think about, even when you have a Fairy, is Archangel, but nothing getting bounced is that bad for him here. The worst would be like Desperado.
Yeah.
Another bank job means that Steven can comfortably stay ahead in the credit war.
Yeah, I really hope he security tested that pad campaign this turn, because he could do some really great work. Or maybe not security test the pad campaign with the bank job, but security test R&D maybe, and then bank job off the pad campaign, get a bunch of money, run the pad campaign again.
It's tricky because you want to stay ahead in the credit race so you don't get mid-season. If you spend too many clicks to do that, NBN will just beat you with 24/7. So you kind of need to balance spending your clicks for things like security testing with like clicks to draw and clicks to run. It's really hard to get enough clicks to do everything you want to do.
Steven didn't get the Astro out of HQ.
I think that was in a remote, actually. I think Alan put it out there naked and Steven got it. And then bounced the HQ ice.
That's even better.
Yes. So now that Steven like didn't check a few cards. Alan decides to try to sneak out the Astro and got punished. It's a really interesting mind game with playing remotes out, actually. With the Corp trying to figure out whether the runner is in a mood to run, and the runner deciding if the Corp is in a mood to put out agendas. But Leela at least didn't have an HQ pressure card to punish the HQ bounce that time.
Did he even go back inside?
No, I don't think so. And that's
Seems like kind of a frivolous bounce.
Maybe he's worried about like snare, but most butcher shop decks don't have influence for those shenanigans these days.
Mm-mm. Especially once you start seeing like Astro scripts and.
Yeah, now that Astro's influence.
And definitely not after you see that.
Scorch's influence, and assuming they play like Traffic Accident, that's pretty much all their influence.
Mm-hmm.
And account siphon through your pop-up.
Not really going to hurt Alan, though. I'm not sure if that's...
He needs one more siphon to really put the hurt on.
Yeah, I think Steven might have been a little bit better. Like, Steven should pressure R&D. I still feel like at least getting everything rezzed, get him some more information. And plus, you might just get lucky off the top of R&D. And getting lucky off the top of R&D when you're Leela is really good.
Absolutely.
Bounce those other things that if you don't want to check, you don't have to anymore. Especially now, once Alan starts throwing out more stuff that's down there, it could be a really big problem as the game progresses.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to spend the clicks to check these things because, as I said before, his clicks are so valuable. Now that he's made these plays, he's kind of dangerously low on cards, so he has to spend some time drawing back up. And he's just really not finding the time to pressure the centrals and try to get the second breaking news or 15 minutes. And that could end up costing him.
I mean, I think what I would assume here is that Steven's afraid of something like mid-season, and that's why he's trying to money up so hard. But I don't think the second siphon...
Ooh, there's a snare.
Surprise, surprise.
Well,
even
eating my words.
Yep.
Snare is, of course, a great inclusion. At 2 influence, it's pretty costly. I imagine Alan would have to cut some traffic accidents to fit that one in.
See, this is where Steven needs that siphon now. Get the punish. Like
this would be a perfect siphon, yeah.
Yeah. Or at least, again, check R&D. Now that it would force Alan to go so low on credits if that's not a pop-up. That I think it's a tempo check, or at least a free access for you.
Yeah.
Or a net positive access for you, which is even better.
Leela probably really wants a legwork right about now. He wants to clear out that hand. Oh, but too late.
Uh-oh.
There's the second breaking news. Womp womp.
And we know there is a Scorch in hand.
Mm-hmm. And the strike goes away so that Alan can draw even more quickly toward whatever he needs. What he needs is 24/7 news cycle and like a traffic accident or a second Scorched Earth. And he might already have any or all of those. He also needs 3 credits to play Scorched Earth, but that doesn't seem too hard.
As long as Steven ends his turn with a bunch of cards. Although that siphon, that's a really good siphon to have.
Not really great right now.
He needs to draw. Steven needs to get up to 4 plus cards.
And he needs to run more. I don't know about playing the Sturdy Launcher. You don't need money anymore.
Yeah, I don't agree with this at all. He needs a card way more than he needs the credits.
Alan has committed his credit pool, so he's not going to be able to mid-season you anytime
Or
soon.
even, why check the remote instead of R&D, a wide open R&D?
Yeah, he's suddenly worried about these cards, but they weren't scored, so R&D seems like a higher priority to check for sure. Even this Jackson.
Yeah, I don't agree with Steven's turn here. I think if you're gonna run I was talking to John about this. You have to figure out what you want to do before you take your actions. If you know you want to run the Jackson, then you don't run the remotes. He already scored the breaking news. Run R&D, see what's on top. Maybe run R&D again if it was trash or a Jackson, or if it's something you trashed or an agenda. Then run the Jackson or archives. Then run R&D again. See what's on top again. I mean, this turn doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, plan out your whole turn. Even if you want to check those things, you should run the Jackson first, because then if you trash the other things, he can't recur the things he trashed with the Jackson.
Right.
Yeah, but also probably the even bigger mistake, I don't know. Oh, well, another mistake was playing the Dirty Laundry when it's just more useful as a card in your hand for hit points.
But what this does say is that Alan doesn't have the 24/7.
Well, he only has 2 credits. He can't kill with...
He could have credited 24/7 Scorch.
Oh, okay.
And that would have killed Steven.
Because he only had like 3 cards in hand?
Yeah.
Well, that's a mistake. But yeah, for sure. All right, that means Steven should really be as aggressive as he can. Like, he needs to get more points.
Mm-hmm.
There are agendas in the deck somewhere, and probably quite a few of them.
I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, Timmy, a legwork here would be huge. A lot more information. Hopefully, snag a couple things. But this continuing to hit HQ.
Legwork is just like the best card against Netrunner because they draw so fast. Like,
yeah, they can't really control their own agendas.
And they rely on like HQ access luck to keep those agendas out of the runner's hands, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Steven just ran HQ and found 24/7 news cycle. So
that's
the end is coming quite soon.
Yeah, Steven, I think that's why Steven played the Siphon here. Although that's only going to take at most 4 credits. If that ends Steven's turn with less than 4 cards, he still loses from that, though.
Yeah, but I think he can have 4 cards in hand. So this at least buys him a turn, which is okay. Just doesn't seem at all likely that he can score 5 points on that turn, though. And he has to clear these tags too. Ick.
Yeah, a lot of bad news.
So did he even go through with the Siphon?
Looks like not. Looks like it's back in his hand.
Yeah, he probably thought better of it. Okay.
Okay.
He's doing it. Is he going to float a tag?
Nope.
Okay.
Not with that wrap.
Just resing a wrap, sure.
But
Probably
that's
safer.
That, unless Alan has the traffic accident, that will save Alan, or excuse me, save Steven. Exploda. Oh, that's bad news. That.
What a card.
Yep.
Anytime you've done like exact math for the corpse money, Exploda is here to throw a wrench in your plan.
Yep. Just may as well run R&D again. Oh, was that the last click?
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's going to be it. Yep.
That's it. Looks like he might have top decked the second Scorch on that turn. Pew pew pew.
24/7. Kill the breaking news. Scorch.
Yeah, forfeit 1 breaking news, trigger the other one's breaking news to give the runner 2 tags. Scorch Earth, Scorched Earth. Well, that was a pretty good draw on Alan's part. I think Steven was really hoping to draw into his class create, I'm guessing. He was trying to draw a lot. But I think maybe his best chance was to run super aggressively and get that second breaking news.
I agree. I think if Steven had run a little bit more aggressively early, and it looked like after all that it was just a pop-up. So that could have been a field day for him, especially with all of those credits.
It's a fine line to walk because you don't want to put yourself in mid-season range. But like with the amount of money he ended up with, he certainly could have spent less time getting money and more time running.
I mean, he ended the game with almost 30 credits. Steven ended the game with almost 30 credits. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And until the Exploda, the Corp had less than... I don't think the Corp had 10 cards, 10 credits the entire game.
He probably went over a couple times, but he hovered around there for sure.
Yeah. More top 8 action coming up.
Yeah. Very well played by both players here, and we'll see you guys for more games from the Game Empire Pasadena Regionals.
Yeah, thanks for watching.